Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen. I know, I never say that because I always assume that you know because the title of my channel is Today in Jen's Sewing Room. But I probably should start telling you who I am, just, you know, in case you didn't pay any attention to the name of the channel. Maybe you did a search or something and that brought you here. But anyway, I'm Jen and I'm glad you're here. And I'm not in my sewing room, I'm on my back lanai, it's called my back porch, and I just want to talk about the state of my brain. Essentially just stuff that's going on in my life right now. And I'm doing that because I have a sewing room that is in complete disarray and I can't really get in there and do any sewing. So, for that reason, if you're here to hear me talk about sewing or watch me do a sewing thing or something like that, that's not really what I'm going to do today. So if you're not into that, then, you know, God bless you. I hope you're doing well. And I'll talk to you the next time I'm talking about sewing. But if you want to hear all the other stuff, like the state of my brain, I'm glad you're here. So let me start with the sewing room, the state of the sewing room. It is in complete chaos because about a year and a half ago I decided I would turn one of my spare bedrooms, I have two, into a sewing room. It works great, it was wonderful, I loved being in there. It would call to me from across the house. I do not have a mansion, I do not have a huge house, I have a relatively small house actually. It's a small 3-bedroom house, but it does have a bonus room, and in the bonus room I have not done very much, short of put in bookshelves with all my books, because I have a huge collection of books, and the desk and, you know, bookish, deskish kinds of things. They're all in there. Okay, well then I started thinking, my kids come and see me a little more often now than they used to. I think it's that they've gotten used to the fact that we are where we are, and 3 of the 6 are not very far away. They're little less than 3 hours away. So they've come down fairly often on the weekends to stay. Well, that means I need more space. So I thought, well, you know what? I should just combine those 2 things, books and my sewing, into one room. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. It's slow going. I wish it were going faster. I wish I did not have to build a door, because I built a coffee table and I thought I would never want to do woodworking again. It was too much. But I'm gonna have to build a door because the kind of door that I need is too expensive and I'm too cheap. What can I say? When you DIY everything, you become a real cheapskate. And then you say, I'm not paying that much when I could do it for this. Yeah, well, that's kind of how we feel as sewers, isn't it? You know? Anyway, so this whole thing is going slowly because I had to figure out how to do the frame on the door, and that took a little bit of doing, and then started to get that done, then I ran into a couple problems, and then I don't know what I did, because do we ever realize what we did? Can we ever go back and point to the thing? When we pull muscles in our back and we get up in the morning and we go, oh my gosh, I can hardly walk. Yeah. So that knocked me out for a couple of days, and then I took some Tylenol PM, which if you live outside the US, it's probably paracetamol. It's acetaminophen, basically. And then they put this diphenhydramine something, it's Benadryl here, the brand name is Benadryl, in the PMs so that you'll go to sleep, because that's an antihistamine that makes you go to sleep. Well, the trouble is, you sleep really well, but for me, I am just worthless the entire next day. So that's how I was yesterday. I got very little done, a little bit of sanding. I meant to paint, I don't know. So it's slow going. I have made progress, but just not very much. And I'm gonna do an entire video on the whole process. I have been filming as I've been going, so I'll keep you posted. But, you know, if you ever want to hear me talk about DIY projects, because I always have one going, let me know and I'll talk to you about it. I redid my entire kitchen and it's beautiful. And I did it. I love that. I love that, you know, I can look around and go, oh, I love that kitchen. And I did it. It's just such a feeling of accomplishment and, you know, it's kind of like when you get to the end of a sewing project and you go, oh, that looks fabulous. I feel fabulous in it, and I did it. Yeah, it's that same feeling. Okay, so that's the state of the sewing room. I do watch Jeopardy every night because you got to keep that brain going. But yeah, that's about all I've been watching on TV. What I have been doing is listening, and I listen to audiobooks on Audible. I have these two old iPhones. This one is romance, this one is sci-fi, and that's because those are my two favorite genres. Now, I don't listen to hard, technical sci-fi. I don't like that. I don't care. Like space operas, nah, that's not for me. What I like are post-apocalyptic books, stories of survival. You know, like a pandemic has happened, or an asteroid has hit, or I don't know, aliens have come, and you know, something like that. So I like the people part of sci-fi stories. And I'm a huge geek. I love Star Trek. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. I liked Farscape, one of the greatest shows. Why did they cancel that? I don't know. Battlestar Galactica, I thought, was a fantastic show about how a society has to learn to survive in a completely different environment, like in space instead of on a planet. Oh, so good. So good. You will usually see me with well, you probably won't see me with these around my neck. These are really noise canceling. They're called Jabra. Jabra makes these, and they're just these kind of earphones. I don't wear them very often because they tend to hurt my ears after a while, but they're good earphones. And in fact, I wore them on a plane, but they weren't noise canceling enough, and so I put earbuds in, and then I put these on. Yeah, that worked. I also have these. These are by MPOW, M-P-O-W, and they're magnetic. That's one of the reasons I like them. Like, they just, yeah, like that. And they go around your neck, and then you put the buds in your ears. So I'm usually wearing these or these, which are made by Skull Candy, which these were the first ones I ever got, and they're really good, but I don't like them as well as I like the MPOWs. And those are MPOW Jaws, they're called. These are great, but they don't, you know, you can't kind of keep the buds like corralled with magnets, and they're pretty basic. My absolute favorites are these. These are my newest ones, which they sent me. I had to buy them, but they reimbursed me for the cost. And these are MPOW, what are these called? I forget what they're called. How is that possible? I'll put it on the screen. But they're just little tiny true earbuds that you stick in, and they're noise canceling, which I love because these two are not. So anyway, so these are great for when I'm out in the garage and I'm using a circular saw or a drill or a tile saw or something like that where I need ear protection. These are great for that because they really are truly noise canceling. I love those. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about those anymore in future videos because I've talked about them now. So if you ever want to know, ask me in the future. Romance, sci-fi. Currently, I am listening to Book 8, and I have marathoned them. Book 8 in the Expeditionary Force series. Book 8 is called Armageddon. That is by Craig Allenson. He is a local Florida author. He lives in the Miami area. And these are narrated by R.C. Bray. I have listened to books for so long now and gotten to know so many narrators that I am really more interested in who's narrated the book than who has authored it. So this is really fun sci-fi. It's Farscape-ish, you know, in that you have a crew of people and they have to go save the world for various and sundry reasons. Anyway, so I'm almost to the end of the series. There's one more book after this, and then there's a new book coming out in September, I want to say. So, yeah, fairly soon. So, I don't know. I kind of, between books, I tend to want to like have a palate cleanser, sort of. So I'll listen to some romance. And I don't know, I haven't been interested in romance lately. I've been trying a couple of things, but yeah, nothing has really been grabbing me. I think because I leave the world of the Expeditionary Force and then I want to still be in that world, so I go back to the next book. So anyway, if you want any recommendations from me on narrators from Audible, you can go to audible.com and search the narrator's name and they will show you everything they've done. I have some favorites. And so, yeah, if you want to know any of those, let me know, but that's what I'm reading right now. Food. Let's talk about food. I made the most amazing simple thing the other day. This was for 4th of July, and I really wanted to try it. And I think it was a tasty recipe. Well, this was dead simple. I'm telling you what, and which is really a good thing because I am not a cook. No, ma'am, I am not a cook, no, sir. I can get dinner on the table, as Maya Angelou has said in the past, as she quoted her grandmother as saying, I can mix groceries well enough to get dinner on the table, but that's about it. So what I did was, you buy dinner rolls in a package, but I got the Hawaiian dinner rolls, which are a little bit sweet, and they are already split, so you take them out of the package, but you don't separate them. So they're like this big square of, I think it's 12 dinner rolls. And you take the bottoms and you put them there in a like 9x13 pan. So I actually took 12 and then I added 2 more rows of another package so that it filled the entire 9x13 pan. And then I cooked some chicken in my Instant Pot, my R2D2 Instant Pot. Oh yes, I have an R2D2 Instant Pot and it's fabulous. So I cooked some chicken in there and then I shredded it. And then I put that on top of the dinner rolls. And then I squirted barbecue sauce all over the top, which actually I think you could probably mix the barbecue sauce with the chicken before you put it on the rolls, but I did it the way that the recipe said because my mom always says, Jen, you never follow the recipe and that's why you fail. So I did it as the recipe said, Vita. And then it called for pepper jack cheese that you were supposed to put on top of the chicken. Well, I didn't have any, so I just used cheddar. And I had the squares of cheddar, so I just cut them into fourths. You could do this with American cheese, like processed cheese that you get out of the wrapper. You could do it that way too. And then I just kind of went around and put that on top of where I kind of guessed that the bottom of the roll was. You do all that, and you put the roll on top. So this is so simple. You've put the bottoms of the rolls in the pan, the chicken, the barbecue sauce, pieces of cheese, put the tops of the rolls on, melt a little bit of butter in a measuring cup, and then take a paintbrush and paint it all over the top, put it in the oven at, I forget, like 350, I think, for 20 minutes, get it out, and you have sliders. How great is that? I mean, you just pull them apart and you get these little tiny chicken sandwiches. Oh, they were so good. And you can do it with anything. You can do it with ground beef, kind of make hamburgers. You could make little hamburger patties, I suppose, if you wanted. I wouldn't want to work that hard. Or you can do chicken parmesan, which I think I'm going to try tomorrow night because we have people coming over. So yeah, dead easy, and so good. We had them for 4th of July with some friends. They were fabulous. Health. Okay, health. This is an ongoing thing with me. So I'm trying to get better. I need one green thing in my diet every day, and I'm just failing at that. I don't know. I just fail. What can I say? I love sweets, and I love bread, and I love all the refined sugar, starch, you know. I could go on and on and on, but trying to refocus. Also, if you are a sugar lover like me and you are getting older and you worry about glucose levels in your blood so you don't get to be a type 2, I think it is, diabetic, exercise is really important. And it's also good for your cholesterol to keep it down or keep it healthy the way it's supposed to be. So I am back in the pool again. I am a lap swimmer and I love swimming laps because I hate to sweat, and you don't sweat. Well, if you sweat and you're already wet, then it's okay because you don't feel like you're sweating. There's also a lady Her name is Schellea, and she has a YouTube channel called Fabulous 50s, and Joy Bernhardt directed me to her. She does these little 5-minute workouts that are fabulous. You can do 2 or 3 of them in a row if you want, or just one, and she works on arms, she works on abs, but they're not hard to do. They're really easy and they go really fast. And they're really good for you. I mean, you get to the end and you think, oh, I did it. And it wasn't that hard, but they're for women over 50, which is, yes. I don't feel like I've got to turn into some kind of athlete or super aerobic person or keep up with my kids even. No, it's really great. So back to the pool. We have a city pool that just opened. I got a membership. It's all good. I love being in the pool. I love being in the water. Most days are really nice. Like today is nice. I may even go swim today. But I got in the pool the other day and I got so frustrated. First of all, goggles are a big deal when you are in the pool. And I have some older goggles that I've used, which I think they are these and these. And goggles, when you use them a lot, then they tend to scratch and fog, and they're in your bag and they get knocked around. It's kind of like sunglasses. And I need ones that are kind of tinted because, the sun is shining and I'm outdoors, and so you go to breathe and it's like the sun is in your eyes, so you got to be careful. Well, I like these. These are great because they're big and they fit my face. And I feel kind of silly in them because I was a swim team coach and, they all wore these little Speedo racing goggles. But the trouble with goggles is you got to get them to not leak. So you got to suction them to your face, and sometimes that's hard. So I have a smaller version of them, which I'm going to have to try again because I got so frustrated the other day. I didn't have these with me. Now I have 2. I went to Walmart. That's where these come from. I think they're made by Delfino. And I got some new ones because, I was thinking, I don't know about those. You have to tighten them on your head and you have to keep them tight. And so these don't always stay tightened up, but I don't know. I got out of the pool because I would go to do a lap and I would get water in them. And so then you're kind of doing this, as you're trying to swim. It just, I got so frustrated. I would do a lap, get water in my eye, get to the end of the lane, and then I'd have to dip the water out and then put it back on, stick it back on my, and you got to fiddle with them a little bit because it got a cap on. You don't want them over the cap. Oh my gosh, it's so fiddly. So I finally got out of the pool and was so frustrated. I thought, all right, I just need to take a breath, stop being so frustrated. Now when I swim, I also listen to books because swimming is boring. To be honest, it's back and forth and back and forth. And unless you're listening to music or you are working on something in your head, then you get really bored. Well, I have 2 of these little tiny iPod Nanos. These are very basic. They get louder or softer. They go forward and backward. That's it. You can't control them more than that. But they're waterproof. I got them from a company. I don't know that they're any longer in business, but I will look for a link and put them below if you're interested. But I have 2 because I had this one and then I lost it, and so I bought this one after a long time, and then I found it. It's ridiculous. So I have 2. These are earbuds that go with those, and you can tell that the buds are like little trees. And so, so I had them, actually I was using this, and these actually have a little clip on the back, so they will clip. I usually clip them to my suit, but you're supposed to clip them to your goggles. You put your cap on and you put your goggles on, then you clip these, and then these will come up behind you like this, and this part won't get in your way. Well, I don't want to mess with that. So I'm always getting a mouthful of cord, but I don't care. Anyway, so I went to put those on, and the left ear kept falling out. I'd put it in, fall. Dig in there and really get it in there, and it would fall out. And after the fiasco with the goggles and then with these, I just said, forget it. I am done. I've been here for 20 minutes and I'm giving up. I'm done. Well, I'm not done with lap swimming, clearly, but I was done that day because I was so frustrated. But you know what? You just got to get back in and do it again. It's like when you do a sewing project and you go, oh, I'm so frustrated. This is not working. So you just put it aside. I heard Alex from Alex Judge her sewing channel. I'll link it below because she's fantastic. I love her. And she said I threw it in a corner in a sulk and have never gone back to it. Yeah, I do that too. I don't know that I throw mine in a closet. Anyway. But anyway, yeah, sometimes you just have to do that. And then you know, if you want to go back to it, you can, but if you want to call it a fail, that's totally fine. You're allowed to do that too. Some of us in our brains think, I have to finish that, I have to finish that. But you know what? No, you don't. It's totally fine. Nobody is telling you you have to finish it. So anyway, then you go back another day, like I'm probably gonna go back today, and you know, it works better. It works out, and you're fine. And who doesn't love a day at the pool? Really? Who doesn't love a day at the pool? It's like, it's better than a day at the beach because there's no sand and you don't have to worry about all the critters in the water coming and getting you, because that kind of freaks me out. Although I love the beach. I just don't love to be in the water. I like to walk on the beach, but I like to be in the pool. And our pool is actually a water park, and my 68-year-old husband was going down the water slides with my kids recently. Oh, this man is never gonna get beyond 30 years old. I'm not even sure he's beyond 18. And he looks really young. I'm so thankful for him to have such a young, you know, acting husband, because he keeps me young too. So anyway, okay, that's the food and the exercise and the goggles and all of the things. I'm really excited to get back in the pool today. The only other thing I wanted to tell you about is this stuff, which, you know, I don't know if you like soda, but if you like soda but you need to drink more water, this is a very good in-between kind of thing. And this comes in all kinds of flavors, and it's slightly sweetened, whereas the lemon and the lime are not, in the cans at least. And you find these are by Clear American, and they're at Walmart. And I got one the other day that was blackberry lemonade, and I didn't know if I was gonna like it, so I only got one because they're 57 cents. I mean, seriously. And this is probably maybe two things that will fit in here with ice. It's 2 glasses full. Oh my gosh, I need to go back and get like 10 more of those because it was amazing. So I have pineapple coconut, I have lemon, I have tangerine, I have, I don't know, a whole variety of flavors. I know it's become this big trend lately, but it has, because they're good. And you're not getting all the caffeine that you get with Diet Coke, even though I need a Diet Coke every day. At 5 o'clock, my mother used to make a pot of coffee every day at about 4:30. Never understood why. Oh, I totally get it now. Yes, I need a caffeine jolt at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, because all I want to do is lay down and take a nap, and it's way too late to do that. So anyway, so if you want to avoid the caffeine and you need water through the day, which everybody does, that's okay to drink. And I checked with my doctor, and he said it's exactly the same as if you drank a regular glass of water. So I trust him. I'm sure there are people that would disagree with that, but I trust him. So, okay, that's the entire state of my brain. And yeah, I just thought I'd chat. Just sit down and chat, since I can't sew and I can't talk about any sewing thing. I do have some things that are coming up. Gotten a couple of things of fabric from Walmart, believe it or not. They are back with their remnants, where it's like 4 yards for $4. It's usually junk fabric, but not always. And did I get any more patterns? I don't think so, but I've been watching all these channels that have indie patterns going on, and I've been grabbing, you know, a few of them here and there. Another YouTube channel that I started watching was So Custom. This is an Irish woman named Susan, and she makes the most beautiful clothes. And she does them from a block, which is essentially a sloper that you take. It's a base pattern, just a regular bodice, and she moves the darts around, and she cuts them apart and does all kinds of things with them and makes these beautiful clothes. Oh my gosh, she's so much fun to watch. And so I'll link her below too. I'm also working on finding new channels to watch, especially channels that don't have a lot of subscribers, like Anna at You Keep Me in Stitches, and what is her name? I forget her name, but she's So Bunny. I've started watching her, and she's a delight. And of course, you know, Tea at Main Course, I love her. And someday I'll do a whole list of shout outs of people that I really like. But those are some new ones that I've been watching. Okay, this has been quite long enough. And I think that's all for now from me. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.